Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever Seeking Empath. So if you've been here before, welcome back, and if you've never been here before, I'm a reader that uses tarot cards, oracle cards, and charms to do readings for you. So today we are going to do a reading to explore what's going to happen for you for the next 6 weeks approximately. So that timing might vary a little bit, but that's really what we're going in intending to find out. So before we get started, I want to remind everybody that this is a general reading, so it might not resonate for everybody, so just take the pieces that resonate for you and disregard the rest. Also, if you enjoy this reading, please like, share, subscribe, and comment on my post. It really does help out my channel, and then it helps you see when I've posted new content right away. So I would appreciate that so much, and thank you so much to those of you who have already subscribed. So yeah, we have 3 piles here today, and I'm using the Ice Cream Oracle to be your pile markers. So for pile 1, we have Cookie Dough, Building, Evolution, Development. Pile 2, we have Blue Moon, Dream, Imagine, Create. And then pile 3, we have Spumoni, Variety, Opportunity, Choices. So just let your intuition guide you to a pile, and that is your reading. Timestamps are going to be in the description box and in the comments below as per usual, and we're going to get started now with pile number 1. Hi group 1, so if you chose Cookie Dough for your Ice Cream Oracle card, then this is your reading. So the keywords on this card are building, evolution, and development. And so we'll see what you got here. We're going to start with your tarot and oracle cards, and then we're going to do your charms at the end. So stay tuned for that so that you get your full reading. And we are going to do charms a little bit differently today. Instead of using the heart as we usually do to figure out the focus, I'm going to kind of sort the charms according to when in the next 6 weeks they're going to happen. But I'll get into that once we get to the charms. So for your tarot, you've got the Hermit, the Magician, 10 of Wands, and 8 of Pentacles. So from this, I feel like this is very much going with your Ice Cream Oracle card, that it is going to be very much focused on building, evolution, and development. I feel like to start off, you're going to have to spend some time alone to kind of figure out what you want. And maybe you are kind of a lone wolf type person who wants to do everything on your own. You're very independent. But I think that's going to get overwhelming for you. You do have all of the resources at your disposal to get whatever you need to do done. But I feel like some of you might need to learn to delegate, to drop things, or to work together with others, because we have the 10 of Wands here. And it's just like all these underwater volcanoes are spewing, and this person's overwhelmed with all the wands. And then the next card is the 8 of Pentacles, and it looks like somebody else here took on some of those wands. So I feel like for a lot of you, this is the sign to maybe work together with people, especially if you're a bit resistant to that and you're wanting to do everything yourself. It looks like a lot more is getting done in the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles is about working hard, perfecting things, and like moving forward on a project. So I feel like a lot of you, that's what it's focused on. It can be career oriented, it can be a personal project, it can be like building a home, or, you know, moving into a new house, something like that. But I just feel like a lot of you, it's this project that you're working on that you're overwhelming yourself by trying to do it all on your own. So in the next 6 weeks, I think you're going to come to the conclusion that it's better to allow others to help and assist, and to get other people's support as well. So let's get your oracle cards and see what else they have to say. So you have number 42, gentle moderation. Take your time. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by renegotiating what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, so pressure can be released is making me think of this 10 of Wands, because all of this pressure is being released. And I think this is telling you also to really recognize what's important and what's not, what has to get done by you and what can get done by somebody else, or just doesn't have to get done at all. So I feel like that's something you might need to hear right now. You have Sanctuary, number 28, privacy, inviolate personal space, respected boundaries, and taboos. So I think that Sanctuary is really tying in with the Hermit card. Like, you need to take that time alone. I think a lot of you like your personal space too, so you have a hard time letting other people in. But I think in this case, this is just saying set boundaries, even for yourself. Like, I'm only going to allow myself to do so much, and then I'm going to take a rest. Because I think that's a big part of this, is that you're not giving yourself any time to rest. So you're getting overloaded, you're getting overwhelmed, and you're burning out. You have ask for help. If that's not going to sum this up, I don't know what will. So yeah, I think this is very much tying into what we were talking about. Asking for help in the next 6 weeks is going to be crucial. I think a lot of you maybe feel weak if you ask for help, or you feel like it's showing that you're not capable of doing something, but all it's doing is recognizing what's important, what has to get done by you, and what can be faster, more efficient, or done better by somebody else. If you allow other people to come in and help you, and keep in mind, you can always pay them back. Like, you can always help them in another way, but sometimes just being allowed to help somebody else feels good on its own. So you don't necessarily have to specifically pay them back in the same way that they helped you. And I feel like a lot of people don't even think of things that way. They think it has to be like a one-to-one exact exchange, but relationships aren't really transactional unless they're like business transactions. But relationships on a personal scale should not be transactional. So it's just saying allow the people around you to support you, because I think you have a lot more support than you realize right now. You have palm tree, bringing ideas to life, magical creations. So I do think that these next 6 weeks are going to be very much focused on bringing something to life, and maybe something you've thought about or you've planned for a long time is coming to fruition right now, and that's why things are getting busier and you really do need people's help to get this done. But I do think that it's really going to be focused on this building and developing whatever you're working on. And then you also have seagull, look at the bigger picture, bird's eye view. So a lot of you might be focusing too much on the tiny details and missing like the overarching viewpoint, and maybe that's why you're getting overloaded, as you're trying to juggle all the details on your own. And if you allow other people to help you, you just stay focused on the bigger picture and allow other people to take care of the details, or let some of those details fall away because they're not that important. You have water, lifeblood. This is number 41. So this can just mean drink more water. I think a lot of you need to literally hear the message to drink more water. But this is also just saying nourish yourself. There's obviously a lot of water in these cards because I'm mostly using like very water oriented cards, mermaid cards, sea creatures, things like that. But I love that of this, I think this is the Spirits of Nature deck. I'll put it in the description box anyway, but yeah, this has different elements and you got a water card, so that's pretty cool. But I feel like this is just saying make sure that you're nourishing yourself and that you're taking care of yourself, because it's necessary for you to survive. This isn't like a negotiable thing. This isn't just like something extra. You need this. You need the support. You need to allow yourself time to rest. So I think a lot of you might have a hard time hearing that kind of message usually. And then you have snake, shedding, number 36. So yeah, this is kind of what we were talking about with needing to release things, release unimportant details, release the need to do things alone, release the way that you always did things so that maybe other people who have a more efficient way or a more productive way can kind of get their ideas heard as well. And like shedding your old way of life, because I feel like for some of you this is like moving, like changing jobs, allowing people to help you like get a new job or to move into your new position, literally moving people, like allowing people to help you find a place or move things into the new place, but it just feels like this very physical move. So a lot of you I think are going to need to shed this old situation. Maybe some of you are actually like leaving someone behind as well and are asking for help to like get the support from people that you need right now emotionally, or to help you like meet new people in a new place, that kind of thing. And then your final oracle card is turbulence. The mind is murky in rough waters. So this is just saying that's, I think, why you need that hermit mode at the beginning of these 6 weeks, is you need to calm your mind, allow the answers to come to you, because I feel like a lot of you, the busier you get, the more you kind of dig your heels into the way that you've always been doing things, and only when you just take the time to kind of clear your mind and release that will you recognize that you might need other people's help, and that's going to be a more efficient way to get things done. So we're going to do your charms now. So as per usual, we're going to lay them out in this tray, but the way that I figured I'd do things today, since we're trying to get when things are going to be happening in a certain amount of time, I don't have like a grid to block this out per week, but that's probably better since it's going to vary for everyone. So the way I'm going to do it is basically the top half of the tray is going to be the first 3 weeks, and then the bottom half is going to be the second 3 weeks. So we're just going to see what comes out and how the charms lay out. So group 1, next 6 weeks, what's happening? All right. So yeah, I'm seeing the overloadedness, especially at the very beginning, because the top half, especially like the front of the top half here, is really loaded up with stuff. So I feel like that's why you're overloaded, is just everything's kind of hitting you at once, and that's why you need to take the time to retreat. So let's flip some of these and get some info for you. Okay, let's see where to start. So I'm feeling like there's some energy vampires in your area right now, whether these are people, like maybe you're an introvert and you get very easily drained by being around other people, or just your current situation is draining you. But I think that's really key right now. You've got a couple of winter symbols here, so the snowflake and the Santa's sleigh here, which also have duplicate meanings, but this can be like timing, like something that you thought about or talked about in winter. Could be happening right now, or winter somehow is like tied into what's going on right now. But otherwise, the snowflake just has to do with uniqueness. I feel like that's saying a lot of people coming in with their unique perspectives and abilities are coming in to help you. So I feel like allowing people to do what they're best at is going to help you, because I feel like a lot of people are going to come in with some unique skills. Like maybe if you're moving, for example, somebody is like very strong and can help you haul some of the really heavy stuff. Someone's very handy and can help with like a lot of the handiwork, or even like hanging up pictures and artwork and things like that. Maybe somebody's very detail oriented and wants to like kind of sift through the paperwork and make sure that you've got all your bases covered. Maybe somebody like loves running errands and like wants to run and get everybody lunch and stuff. You know, everybody's got their own abilities. Maybe someone's got a truck and so they can haul a lot of stuff compared to other people, you know, that kind of thing. So just allowing other people with their unique abilities to help you in the way that they best know how. And then with Santa's sleigh, that makes me think of like a gift being brought in, you know, people coming in to help, unexpected surprises as well, and just like a lot of joy and delight. You've got the unicorn, so that kind of goes with what I was saying with the unique abilities, but that's also like kind of a healing symbol. The starfish is also a symbol of healing, so I feel like a lot of you are like healing from burnout, healing from a toxic situation, healing from like hating where you lived. You know, there's just something that you're trying to heal from right now. You've got the tea time, so that's about coming together with friends. It's communication. You've got the leopard here, so talking about like a leopard not changing its spots. I feel like that's something that you kind of strongly believe in, or have believed in, or were told growing up, that it's hard to change as you get older, or, you know, if you are this way when you're young, you will always be that way. But because that's next to the birdcage, I feel like it's time to free yourself from that perspective. I think a lot of you need to recognize your own ability to change, because I feel like a lot of you have not been happy with your life, with your personality, even with your coping mechanisms, with your habits, and this is saying you have the ability to change. Maybe that's what this is about. Maybe it's not like a physical move, but more of an internal move, that you want to change your habits, you want to change your life in a pretty big way, and the next 6 weeks are going to be helping you move towards that. And then you've got the little rabbit head, which symbolizes the March hare. So with the March hare, I feel like a lot of you are maybe feeling like just that overwhelm, because the March hare a lot of the time makes me think of like high energy. It makes me think of madness, because the March hare and the Mad Hatter go together. Alice's tea party that she attends with them, can be like overwhelming and confusing. And so I feel like that's just the energy that you're in right now. That's a very large part of what's going on. So I think those first 3 weeks are just going to be kind of overwhelming, and like you're going to feel like the ground is shaking underneath you, but you've got a lot of good stuff around you too, like a lot of people who are willing to support you. These two are kind of like on the edge, like this one particularly is like in between the first 3 and second 3 weeks, and it's the cheerleader, which makes me think of support, people cheering you on, people saying you can do this. So I feel like that's really a big part of what's coming in for you, is people cheering you on and kind of recognizing how capable you are of whatever you're setting out to achieve. And then you also have the windmill. So this could relate to something Dutch. I usually don't get that, but I feel like some of you that might relate to that. But this also talks about taking tumultuous situations and turning them into power, like whether that's personal power or fuel to move forward, determination, things like that. You've got the knight here, so knight energy is movement, it's moving forward. So I feel like the second 3 weeks you might feel a little bit more like you're getting some movement in. It's not going to just be that chaotic energy anymore. You're going to start being able to move forward. You've got the little crab here, so I feel like at that point you might be literally feeling a little bit crabby, not wanting to be around people as much. You might feel like you want to kind of snap at people a little bit more, so just take care of yourself and be careful of how you treat other people as well. And that's also Cancer energy, which is very emotional energy. It's very dreamy energy, and it's related to the Chariot in Tarot, which is overcoming obstacles to achieve your goals and persisting and moving forward. You've got the little love heart here, so there's a lot of love around you, and I feel like you're going to start feeling the love once whatever this situation is kind of starts to die down. Like towards the end of the 6 weeks, I feel like you're going to start feeling all the love and support that people have been trying to show you. Like I think you're going to recognize early on that people are trying to support you, but you're not necessarily going to feel it as much. But then by the end of this, you will start to feel it. And then finally, you have the moon and star. So that's talking about dreaming big. It can be literal dreams as well, so maybe pay attention to your dreams in the latter half of these 6 weeks. But this is just talking about like making your dreams come true. So I feel like a lot of you are making a big move that's going to feel intimidating and huge and risky, but this is encouraging you that this can pay off. So group 1, I hope that this resonated for you. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, again, please like, share, subscribe, share this video if you feel like it. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope these next 6 weeks do turn out well for you. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi, group 2. So if you chose Blue Moon for your ice cream, then this is your message, and the words at the bottom say dream, imagine, create. So welcome to your reading. So we're going to figure out what's going to likely happen in the next 6 weeks for you. We're going to start out with your tarot and your oracle cards, and then do your charms at the end. So make sure that you stay tuned for that, and then you can get your full reading. And with the charms, we're going to do it a little bit differently this time. I'm kind of splitting it up. Instead of using the heart to figure out what's in the focus of the situation, things like that we usually do, I'm going to kind of grid off the tray that I use, and we can figure out kind of when in these 6 weeks things will happen. But I'll get more into that once we get to the charms. So let's figure out what's happening for you in the next 6 weeks. So for your tarot, your first one is the Tower. You have the Ace of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so I feel like things are going to turn out well. So if you saw the Tower and freaked out, don't freak out too much yet. So the Tower is a big shakeup. It's something unexpected. It feels like the rug is getting pulled out from under you. And for some of you, I feel like the situation is already happening. Like you already know this is crumbling. You can kind of feel it coming. Maybe you're not even sure what's coming yet, but you can kind of feel the early like shaking. So it's just something big and unexpected. A lot of people interpret it always negative, but I don't. Sometimes it can be an epiphany or something that just hits you upside the head. Like if you all of a sudden discover, your best friend has been the love of your life all along, like that kind of thing can also be a Tower moment. Um, but we've got the Ace of Cups, so that's renewal, that's love, that's a lot of overwhelming emotion. It can definitely be good. Notice how abundant everything in this cup is. I feel like there's going to be a lot of abundance for you in the next 6 weeks because you do have the Ten of Pentacles at the end too. But I feel like you're actually going to feel pretty good shortly after this Tower moment. Even if you take some time to like cry and kind of get your initial shocked emotions out, things are going to start feeling really good and busy and loving for you right away. So that's awesome to see. And then with the 9 and 10 of Pentacles, I love that progression. The 9 of Pentacles starts off like you're starting to feel really good. You're seeing the fruits of your labors come in. You're starting to see the rewards from all of the work you've put in. And then the 10 of Pentacles is finally that abundance, maybe even a legacy, getting together with family. But I just feel like there's a lot of really good stuff coming in. So whatever this big shakeup is, it's leading you to something really wonderful and very fulfilling. And it can be leading you to something very practically fulfilling as well, like money or like family oriented things. And inheritance isn't necessarily a good thing, but even if it's like somebody who's still around is passing like their house to someone else in the family or passing along some of their heirlooms, things like that. But just like a really great get together could be in the cards for you. But yeah, I feel like this is going to differ for everybody, but there is some big, wonderful energy coming in. So let's see what your oracle cards have to say. So you have clearing the excess, number 18. You are entering a transitional phase and would benefit from clearing away excess clutter, whether it's in your physical body or your physical space. So this can actually happen with the Tower too, is that like clearing things away. The Tower often will forcibly clear things away to make room for something else. Like sometimes it's like if you're debating if you should be staying or moving, it's like, hey, guess what? Your apartment complex is changing management companies and they're going to clean house. And so that kind of makes the decision for you. So it's overwhelming and kind of scary, but maybe that's what you need, is that kick in the butt to move on to the next phase. So clearing things away right now could help you. Clearing out physical stuff, as it says, or clearing out like emotional space, clearing away from your physical body, like even getting like a really great haircut could be helpful, or meditating and clearing things away that way. I just feel like a lot of you are doing this like kind of spring cleaning, even though it's not spring, but just kind of cleaning house physically and emotionally. You have guide, number 38, a guide, mentor, or trustworthy ally. So I feel like a lot of you do have somebody who's working with you. I did kind of get that connection because we have the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles here, but I feel like a lot of you are going to maybe turn to someone for advice, or somebody unexpected is going to come in who you're going to trust or who's here to help. But I feel like that's something important coming in, is that somebody is here to help. So trust them, because I feel like a lot of you might be a little bit skeptical, or even like wanting to just kind of do your own work so that you can just kind of enjoy the fruits of your labors on your own. And that is that Nine of Pentacles energy, but the Ten of Pentacles looks so much happier and more fulfilling, so that comes afterwards. So I feel like a lot of you might connect with someone and then connect with more people, and that's going to feel unexpectedly more fulfilling as well. But I do think you're going to be overwhelmed because we have mystery. That's often something that comes with the Tower, is like not knowing what to expect. The Tower often comes in when we don't expect it as well. And then after the Tower, it's like all you're left with is the rubble. So you don't really know where to go from here. So I feel like a lot of you are overwhelmed because you don't really know what's next. You don't know where to turn or what to do, where to go. So that might be something that's kind of shaking you up a little bit. And the Nine of Pentacles is interesting too, because that looks very mysterious, even though that's usually about just enjoying what you've achieved. But here it's almost like the work has been done, but she almost looks kind of like wary of her environment, like she's not sure if it's safe to come up. And I think you're going to realize it is safe, but initially it might feel like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You have Pelican. Now's your chance, act quickly. So that's maybe what the Tower is trying to kind of nudge you towards, is acting quickly. So that's kind of what I was saying with like being forced to move out, that kind of thing. Like jump on an opportunity if you see something. Connect with somebody if you're like kind of going between like, should I reach out, shouldn't I? Should I say hi to this person, or should I pretend I'm not here and walk away? You know, it's saying jump on these opportunities, do something quickly. I think that that's important right now. I feel like a lot of you are maybe somebody a little bit more cautious, because I just keep looking at the girl in the Nine of Pentacles card, so you might be usually a lot more cautious, but right now you're being kind of dared to dream big, because you did pick Blue Moon, which is the dream card as well. Dream, imagine, create is what it says. So I feel like a lot of you might need to just jump on whatever chance is here, even if it feels too big and unattainable. You have Wilderness, Untamed, number 43. So that's Untamed is kind of like that mystery card. Like she looks kind of untamed. So I feel like this is saying like, feel free to show your authentic self as well. Like before all of the things that other people told you should do, or like your conditioning that doesn't really work for you anymore, like you're feeling kind of closed off, this is saying free yourself from that. Go out and like clear that away. Maybe that's the excess clutter that you need to clear away. So I think it's important to make sure that you get back to your roots. You allow yourself to be free, to be who you are, to experiment, to try things that you were discouraged from doing. Just really embrace that side of you, that kind of daring, dreamy, imaginative side. And then you got two other oracle cards here. So you got Breathe, break from beneath the water's surface and soar up beyond the turquoise sea. And that's crazy because she's like breaking through the surface right now. So I think that's awesome. It's like break from beneath the water's surface. So I feel like a lot of you need to just trust that things will turn out. But just allow yourself to breathe when things get overwhelming as well. And then recharge. There's nothing like a walk on the beach to soothe your soul. So that's important too. I think you need to allow yourself to rest, to recharge, to do things that feel good, that make you feel a bit more stable, especially when things around you are changing. That might also be why it's saying reach out to somebody, like reach out to a guide or a mentor, is to recharge, to get that break, to get their perspective on things, especially when things feel overwhelming. It's saying to talk to somebody, because sometimes that's all it takes for things to start to clear up. So let's get your charms now for some more information. And so to kind of further describe what we're doing here, usually I just use the heart and we'd get that as our focus, but instead of like dividing this up for each week, I want to get kind of a sense of the timing. We're just going to make the top half the first 3 weeks and the bottom half the second 3 weeks of this 6-week period. So we're going to kind of get a sense of when these things might happen. So group 2, the next 6 weeks. All right. So this is interesting. You do have kind of an even-ish split, but there is this kind of cluster in the later half of the second 3 weeks, where it seems like more things might be happening. So let's start up here. So you do have the airplane. So that could mention travel, since we were talking about like kind of a shakeup or moving. Can also be about getting a higher perspective. We have the little trowel, so digging things up from the root. So that kind of fits with what I was talking about with the wildness, the untamed aspect, getting back to your roots, your authentic self, even family, that has to do with roots as well. This is kind of on the border between the weeks, but I want to acknowledge this right away, since we only had one card really about this, is help, reaching out for help. So this is my Lassie charm, and that talks about reaching out for help and recognizing that help is on the way. So I think you need to trust that the people around you can help you, and whoever you're reaching out to can help, definitely. I feel like a lot of you might hesitate to ask for help, but trust that it's coming in. Trust that they'll always be there as well. You have the thimble. So that's often a symbol of like protecting oneself, especially if you're not sure if you need protecting or not. Tigger here is very like active, hyper energy, You might feel kind of hyper and overwhelmed, especially since it's talking about acting quickly. So this is like jumping on opportunities as well. The squirrel here is about investments paying off and really doing your due diligence to make sure you're doing the right thing, sometimes detail oriented and preparing for the future. So I feel like a lot of you, this is something you're doing to prepare for your future, or you've prepared for this moment and now you're like overwhelmed even though you knew that it was coming in some way. The bottle opener is about like things opening up and sometimes whatever's coming out being overwhelming, because I always think of like shaking up like a fizzy bottle and then opening it and then it's going to go everywhere. So I feel like that's kind of how you're feeling right now. That might be what's happening with the Tower leading into the Ace of Cups, is that like sudden shock is leading to the overwhelming emotion, or like you need someone to just like vent to just spill everything so that you can kind of start recovering from there. You know, you just need to like completely unfiltered just spill, and then you can kind of regroup and start doing whatever you need to do next. You've got the little heart key here. So I do feel like there could be love coming in for you, like romantic relationship wise, but I feel like for a lot of you, this is about somebody that you're going to for help. This could be your family as well, but considering you have the heart key and you have the heart lock, I feel like those might be at separate points where you feel like you kind of know what you're looking for and then you find what you're looking for. I almost feel like this is maybe like week 5 and then week 6. So maybe you're kind of recognizing what you're looking for in a partner or in a friend or in your life, like whatever is making you excited to be alive, you kind of know what that is, but then you find it shortly afterwards. Like you actually see that opportunity, or you find that person, you meet somebody who is like fitting what you were looking for, that kind of thing. You've got the 4-leaf clover, so good luck is coming your way. So you've got a lot of really great positive vibes. You have the lighthouse, so that goes with the mentor, that guide. It's having to do with guidance, a guiding light, kind of leading you to a safer shore. The pipe has to do with tradition, so that's family oriented, and 10 of Pentacles as well. So I think some of you might have been doing things the same way for a long time, or this is a time that family tradition is going to be important, or you're really reflecting on that and figuring out what you want. And then the top hat kind of makes me think of putting your best foot forward. It also makes me think of getting dressed up for events. So it could be like a fancy event coming in that you're going to have to go to. Maybe that's that 10 of Pentacles is like a wedding, or, you know, some kind of family event where you get together. But I do feel like that's for a lot of you. There's going to be like some kind of family event coming in, or some like ancestral passing down going on. I'm not sure what it's going to be, since everybody it's going to be different, but I feel like for a lot of you, there's a real tie-in here with family, and that's going to be something that's going to make you feel a lot more grounded. So group 2, I hope that this resonated for you. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, share this video if you feel inclined. Thank you so much to those of you who have already subscribed. I hope that this video resonated for you. I hope the next 6 weeks go well for you. It seems like they will. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Hi, group 3. So if you chose Spumoni for your ice cream oracle card, then this is your message, so welcome. So the words here are variety, opportunity, and choices. So that might relate to your reading. I know piles 1 and 2, those words related pretty well to their reading. Let's figure out what's coming for you for the next 6 weeks. So we are going to start with your tarot and oracle cards as usual, and then do your charms at the end. And we're doing the charms a little bit differently this time. Instead of using the heart to get the focus of the reading, I'm going to kind of divide it up based on when in the next 6 weeks it'll happen. But I'll get into that a little bit more once we get to the charms. So starting with your tarot, you have the 10 of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess, and the 3 of Cups. So this is interesting. There's like a kind of a through line through all of these piles as well that I'll get into in a minute. But I just think it's interesting how they're all very distinct, but there is kind of a common theme as well. So starting off with the 10 of Swords. For a lot of you, something big has ended. You're finally kind of accepting the ending of something, and it's painful, it's difficult, but you're recognizing it's best to just let go, release, and move on. I'm not sure what this is, if this is a job, a situation, a relationship. It can be anything. It's going to be different for everybody. But the Wheel of Fortune is the wheel turning in your favor. I feel like things are changing and getting better for you. It might feel like it's not quite getting better yet, but I think a lot of you might even be able to feel this like big impending change coming. Especially with the High Priestess, that's a very intuitive card. A lot of you, I think, might have some pretty powerful intuitive abilities, which makes sense since you're watching a tarot video, but I think a lot of you can kind of feel this coming. You might be very attuned to your intuition, or you might need to become more attuned to your intuition. But I think for the time being, like for most of this time, things are going to be kind of mysterious as to what's going to play out. Whatever you're anticipating, you're not going to necessarily be able to tell what's coming yet, even if you can feel that something is. But then the Three of Cups is telling me that there's going to be a focus on friendships and your soul family as well. A focus on celebrating and having fun and just enjoying your life. This might be what you're leading up to in the next few weeks, or this might just be a way for you to get through the next 6 weeks when everything else is mysterious, is for you to focus on your friendships and the things that bring you joy. But let's check out what your oracle cards have to say. So you have number 47, connect to source. Go within to discover what needs to be done. Create the shift required to attract what you want. So that kind of fits really well with the High Priestess, is that going within energy, that connect with source. Because I think a lot of you are going to have a lot of choices, since you have this Spumoni card. Variety, opportunity, and choices are your words. I feel like there's a lot more about you making a choice, and then destiny is going to kick in and like lead you down the rest of that path. But I feel like this isn't all fate dictating what you do. This is you making a choice, and then the universe is going to kind of conspire to lead you down the rest of that path, but you have to choose first. So that's why it's encouraging you to go within and figure out what you do want, because I feel like you've already figured out what you don't want, but now you're going to be led to what you do want. You have vulnerability, number 39. Open your heart, allow yourself to be tender. So the Ten of Swords is also a very vulnerable card, so I feel like a lot of you are kind of feeling very open and vulnerable, and not necessarily open in a good way, but feeling very exposed. So maybe that's something that's going on, is that you're feeling like maybe you had a breakdown in front of people, or you're feeling like people see the cracks in the facade, like they're recognizing that you're not as successful as you're showing on social media, or you know, they're seeing a bit more of the real you, or the reality of what's going on in your life. But this is saying allow yourself to be seen that way. Allow people to care for you and like see the real you. And I think you're going to be surprised by how many people still care and like don't need to make it weird, if that makes sense. Because you do have that Three of Cups, which is your soul family. It's people who you can rely on. It's people you can have fun with. It's people who kind of make light of what's going on. Because there is a lot of like rich, dark, big energy here, but the Three of Cups is very light. It's very fun. It's keeping things fresh and enjoyable. So I feel like a lot of you just need to allow yourself to be seen. I think that that's really big, is allowing yourself to be seen. You have move forward. So a lot of you might be trying to figure out what steps to take. I think it's interesting that this like merman has 2 legs. Even though he's supposedly like a merman, he should have a tail. But in this case, I feel like he's like, nope, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I'm not ever going to be at the whim of the current right now. I'm going to walk forward and take steps. So I feel like that's big, and maybe some of you need to hear that specific phrase, is take steps. I feel like a lot of you are overwhelmed by what to do, what's coming, because you have so many choices. So it's just saying, you know what, just take a step forward, and then the rest of the path will reveal itself. You don't have to figure out the like long-term eventual destination. Just start to take steps. You have fish. Pay attention to your dreams. So that ties in with the High Priestess as well. Your dreams might be bringing you messages at this time, but this could also say like pay attention to your like your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, your desires, that kind of thing as well. If you're trying to figure out what steps to take, just do something that intrigues you, that seems fun. I feel like it's really encouraging you to have some fun as well. You don't have to take everything quite so seriously. And that's why we've got the Three of Cups there, is to say, have some fun, take some steps, just figure out what energy you want in your life and try to manufacture that. Try to do things that make you feel that way already. You have Butterfly, regeneration, number 3. So I think a lot of you are feeling like this is a big change. This is something where you felt like completely beaten down, like you were just done, like you might feel a little bit of a loss of identity right now, because with regeneration, there's like the death period that has to come first, like caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It literally turns into goo in the cocoon, and then it becomes a butterfly. But it's just this huge change that feels overwhelming and like confusing while it's going on, which is, fitting with the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess, is you have no idea what's going on. You just know something big is happening. But you are going to come through it and come out the other side closer to where you want to be. And then finally, you have guidance. Find safety in your beacon's light. So I feel like a lot of you are needing to allow yourself to be helped, allow yourself to be guided, allow yourself to be seen for who you really are, which is kind of what I wanted to talk about with the through line between all 3 of the piles, is this energy of not isolating yourself, not becoming like entirely alone. Like there are some things that you have to do alone, yes, but this is all saying connect to the people around you. There are so many people around you who care about you and want you to succeed, want you to do well, want you to be happy. And there are a lot of opportunities to connect with them and to help you feel more like yourself, help you take those steps forward, help you figure out what path you want to be on. But if you completely isolate yourself, I think you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities to move forward, and you're going to only really have a few paths that you can take, and it's going to be a lot more difficult. So this is really strongly urging you to connect with the people around you for guidance, for help, for support, for cheering on. So let's get your charms now for some more information. And as we talked about, we are not going to do the heart today. Basically, the way I want to do this, instead of like having it divided up week by week, I'm just going to have the top half be the first 3 weeks and the bottom half be the second 3 weeks of the 6-week period that we're talking about. And it's going to vary for everybody, obviously. Timing isn't exact. So this way you can get kind of a general idea of when things are going to happen. So group 3, the next 6 weeks for you. And that message in a bottle was kind of sticking to my hand. So I feel like there might be a message that gets lost, or like if somebody texts you, you might not get it for a few days, either because you didn't see it, because your phone was turned off, or because something is going on with the signal. But that just feels like an extra message someone needs to hear right now. So a message might be taking longer than you were hoping it would. All right. So it seems like there's kind of an even breakdown of where things are happening, and I feel like for you guys it's going to be a little bit more like it's not as distinct as to first 3 weeks or second 3 weeks when things are happening, because a lot of it is like grouped more in the middle. There's some stuff that it looks like isn't going to be happening until kind of the end of this period for most people, but I'm just going to start over here and then kind of move over. So initially there's this need to open up. That's exactly what we were talking about. Since the Ten of Swords is where it started, and we talked about the vulnerability, you feel cracked open and exposed right now, or you soon will. Whatever is going on is making you feel just very exposed. Like that's like the energy I feel is like you want to cover up. Try to just like breathe through that feeling. No one's judging you. People are here to support you and to help you and to love you and allow yourself to be seen. Because I think a lot of you are just feeling like, what will they think if they see the real me? So try not to worry so much about that. You have the ballet slippers, and these are actually really cool because they're very detailed. We've got the tops and we've got the bottoms. So they kind of have different meanings for me. So the bottoms, I feel like a lot of the time that's like where you see a lot of the scuff marks, because that's what's been walking on the floor. So to me, that's like allowing people to see the underbelly, see the reality of the situation. So again, that ties in with the vulnerability conversation we were having, allowing people to see like the work that's been put in or the scars that you have, things like that. We've got the mama and baby elephant. So family right now might be important. Maybe that's the person that you're allowing to see yourself. Maybe that's something that's really strongly tied into what you're going through is family, like reaching out to a mentor, kind of connecting with your herd. So it doesn't have to be family. It can just be your soul family as well. But those people around you that you feel like are there to guide you, recognize that they are there. And for some of you, this might be people who have already passed, because we have the angel wing, like really close to that. So that's often people who have already passed. It can also be like trusting in your own wings. But most of the time, that's like my symbol for guidance. Digging up your roots. I do feel like you might want to watch group 1 too, because there was a lot about your roots, I believe, in that pile. But that, or maybe it was group 2, I don't know, but you can watch all the piles if you want to, but only if you're feeling drawn to. But the trowel talks about digging things up, like replanting as well. Like if you feel like you're in the wrong environment, digging it up and moving it to a better environment, and being careful around the roots as well. That's just really what's standing out to me. I know we already talked about this a little bit, but the message in a bottle is here. So communication might be coming in kind of towards the end of that first 3-week period. It doesn't have to be right then, but at some point in these next 6 weeks, communication is coming in. It might be something that took longer than you had hoped for or expected. It could be like a response on something like a job, like a school application. It could be something like that. It could be a response from someone that you want to date or want to reach out to, want to connect with. So it could be something like that. But I feel like for a lot of you, this did take longer than you were hoping for. But communication will be coming in, but it might just be a little bit different or at a different time than you expected it to. You have wishes do come true. So a lot of you might need to kind of start some magical thinking a little bit and really trust that whatever you wish for will come true. It can come true. There's the possibility. You just need to trust and recognize that sometimes it takes longer or happens in a different way than we expect. But just trust that it can happen. We have the thimble, so I do, as I'm flinging it. So I do feel like a lot of you are feeling that need to protect yourself, but that's the fact that I just flung that across made me think some of you might be recognizing, you know what, I'm not going to cover up anymore. I'm not going to keep this on just out of like this protective instinct. I'm going to just show myself and like see who likes me, see who doesn't, and just be who I am. So that's awesome. I feel like that's some progress being made already, even just within these 6 weeks. We have the key here, so a solution coming in. I feel like you're recognizing like an idea or a piece of information that you didn't connect before, but that's that kind of like aha moment, something coming in that's going to lead you to the next part of your path, that kind of thing. There's definitely a lot about community here because we've got the dolphin, that's friendship, community, communication. We have the fool, so that's very joyful, loving energy, and because this is a jester, maybe you just need to laugh more. There's just a lot of this need to just have fun. I feel like a lot of you are taking things very seriously and you just need to have fun. And then down here we have the snowflake and the rocking horse. So this could be at the end of the 6-week period. I know I said that, but I feel like this is almost just kind of an overarching message for all of this. So the snowflake can have to do with like uniqueness, all snowflakes are unique, that kind of thing, but it's making me think that for a lot of you, this is something that's either happened in the winter time, like winter is tied into this, or it's something that's going to extend through to the winter. Since it's kind of like down here, I feel like for some of you, this might be something that takes longer than you're hoping. Like the ending of this, whatever is going on is going to take you longer than through this 6-week period. This is just like the jump start of whatever this journey is. Especially because with the rocking horse, that's putting in a lot of effort and feeling like you're not getting any results from it. Like it's just going back and forth. You're putting in a lot of effort and really trying to move and you're burning out, but you haven't actually changed locations. It's literally you're just moving back and forth. So I feel like a lot of you are going to feel like the effort you're putting in is not paying off. Like you're not seeing the results. You're not feeling like it's moving forward. And if this is taking you through to the winter, that to me is telling me that a lot of you are going to eventually see results. Like, things are happening, you just can't control the timing. So it might take longer than you're hoping for. You might feel like you're just spinning your wheels for the time being. But this is saying that's why, like, you need to kind of distract yourself with the fun and enjoyment so that you can enjoy your life now and not be so kind of dependent on whenever this thing occurs, whatever you're working towards, the result of that. You don't need to be happy. You can be happy in the meantime while you're working towards things. I think that's really what it's trying to focus on, is like right now I think you're going to lead to that period where you start showing your true self, you start working on just being happy, and whatever you're working on, that's not what is going to dictate your happiness, and you're not going to allow that to dictate your happiness anymore. So I hope that this resonates. I went on a little bit of a tangent there at the end, but I hope that this resonated for you, Group 3. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, comment if you feel drawn to, share this video if you feel drawn to. Thank you so much to those of you who have already subscribed. I hope you have an awesome 6 weeks, like we talked about. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.